folks, we are going to move along. Our next presenter is Jules Porter, Director of Programs with the Jays Care Foundation. Jules has helped us out tonight. It was a bit of a last-minute fill-in, but nonetheless, we are very excited to hear from Jules tonight. She's done some amazing work with Jays Care, where she's been since 2016, leading efforts around diversity and inclusion, along with a new affiliate schools program that we're really proud to be a part of. And tonight, Jules is here to tell us more about it. So without further ado, welcome, Jules. Thank you again for joining us on short notice.
No problem, Adam. Nice to be here. Nice to hear Dirk talking about tournaments and learn all sorts of stuff that we can be doing better at Jays Care. And also thanks to everyone at Baseball Canada for letting me join you. I actually have some slides that I'm going to try to share. And so let me bring those up for a second. I'm hoping everybody can see that. So yeah, thank you for the introduction. I am Jules Porter. I'm the Director of Programs at Jays Care Foundation. And I've spent the last 25 years of my life running programs in Africa, Asia, the Middle East, and all over Canada that are specifically designed to use sport as a vehicle for social change. So whether it's working in refugee camps to try to use sport as a tool for helping folks find autonomy and healing, or if it's using sport as a vehicle for, mass vaccination in various countries where vaccines are saving lots of lives. These are sort of the things that I've done in the past. And I've been at Jays Care for the last 6 years, trying to figure out ways that we can help use the power of baseball. Everybody who's on here today is here because you love baseball and you know the power that it's brought to your own life, or maybe to your children's lives, or to the kids you coach or you officiate for their lives. So you know it is a vehicle that is powerful. And we most specifically at Jays Care are trying to figure out how to use it to empower kids who are most often sitting on the sideline due to sexuality, race, gender, religion, all sorts of reasons. So I'm going to tell you a bit about what Jays Care does, but most importantly, what I'm going to talk about today is things that Jays Care, things that we do with associations, with anyone out there who's on this call who's thinking, I want to do more to create a more inclusive league or to make our league a little bit more diverse. So I'm going to tell you a bit about that. So first up, there are 4 main groups of kids that we've been working with primarily for the last 10 or 15 years. And those are kids who we see all across Canada who have been facing all sorts of barriers. So Indigenous children and youth living with disabilities. And I know we've got lots of folks on the call here tonight who have been running Challenger Baseball. So hi to all our Challenger Baseball friends. So anyone who's working with kids with disabilities, we're really trying to help them make baseball a part of their lives. Girls with limited access to sport. And very often for us, those are newcomer girls or girls in Indigenous communities. And then children and youth and families living at or below the poverty line. And all of you will know that oftentimes those kids can be many different, in many different of those areas. So we work with a lot of kids who are Indigenous and living in poverty, or who are girls with limited access to sport, also living with a disability. What we have seen this year will be no surprise to anyone on this call, but in the last 20 months, kids have experienced so much trauma. Children, youth, adults, whether it is from COVID-19 and the lockdowns that happened and the number of family members who we worked with who lost jobs or who saw family members get sick because of COVID. There's been a whole lot of trauma for kids because of that. But on top of that, there was the unearthing of the mass graves at residential schools across the country. And that was really traumatic for a lot of people. And then there was the Black Lives Matter movement, which was, a giant movement in Canada where people were saying we have been systemically oppressed for years and years. And we've got kids who have experienced all of those things, and then other kids who have experienced them and been watching them over and over on television, on social media, on all of these areas. And so we're seeing lots of children and youth who were already dealing with significant barriers, they're now dealing with way more because they're dealing with those barriers and they're dealing with trauma on top of it, more trauma than ever before. So we are trying to figure out how can we at J's Care help all of the organizations out there, all the teachers out there, all the leagues out there that are doing all this amazing frontline work with children, youth, and young adults. How can we help equip you with more tools so that when those kids show up and they've experienced some of that trauma, you feel better equipped to deal with it? Or when those kids who are sitting at home but want to show up, how can you attract them? How can you get them involved? And so let me tell you what that looks like for us. So first of all, just in case you're wondering, we do have a wide footprint all over the country. You know, in an average year, we're working with anywhere between 20 and 30,000 kids. And so we do our work primarily through three main vehicles. Let me show you what those are. So the first is we work a lot with trusted community-based organizations with long-standing histories of providing services to children, youth, and families facing barriers. So those are newcomer organizations. They may be BGCs, formerly called Boys and Girls Clubs in communities. It could be a community housing provider. We work with them and we help them figure out how to run cool baseball and softball programs that will incorporate their community as well. But then we also work with publicly funded schools. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about a big program we're running, just because I know lots of folks who are on the call today have many, many relationships with their neighboring schools. And I want to make sure that you all are aware of this program we're offering. And then the last group that we work with is all the folks who are on the call today. So community leagues and associations, particularly those who are really interested in expanding their work to include more girls and diverse populations. And I know from working with some of the amazing folks at Baseball Canada, this has been a big priority for lots of associations. And so I want to tell you a bit more about what that looks like. Okay, so let's start with the schools. All right, so we have started this program. I'm hoping some of you have seen it. We have made our efforts to put it out there, and we have been so lucky to be joined by Baseball Canada, Little League Canada, and Softball Canada to design and launch this program. It's called the Affiliate School Program, and it's available right now. It's, you know, schools can register for this extracurricular program from now until the end of the first week of December. We hope you will encourage some schools in your communities to join us. Let me tell you why you should. This program is not a lemon. This program is awesome. I truly believe it, and I want to tell you a bit about it. So the program that we're running is specifically, it's in schools. It's focused on helping educators, social workers in the school, administrative staff in the school, encourage children with disabilities, students with disabilities to join a softball team. And that is, we call that Challenger Baseball. Girls at Bat, this is the program that's for specifically, it's a girl-centered program. Anyone who's identifying as a girl can join it. And we really try to work with schools that have lots of newcomer girls or girls who may be facing barriers to sport because of poverty. And then the third one is Indigenous Play Ball, and that is a program for any students who are Indigenous, because what we know is across the country, Indigenous students are able to access fewer sports and resources at school than other students. And we want to bolster that. We want to increase the number of opportunities for Indigenous students. So educators sign up, and here's what they get. Okay, so if they sign up, if they register with us, we work really hard to make sure their students feel like big leaguers. And the way we do that is we give a uniform set. So that's a t-shirt and a hat for every student in the program. The school gets a specialized adaptive baseball kit. I'll show you that in a second what it looks like. They get a best-in-class program manual, and we've had all of our manuals reviewed by experts in diversity, equity, and inclusion to make sure that what we're doing is the best it can possibly be. The kids all get Blue Jays certificates, and then we take advantage of the amazing partners that we have both at the Blue Jays, but also at Baseball Canada, Little League Canada, and Softball Canada to feature some pretty cool exclusive opportunities, as well as a welcome video. So all that stuff is what the students get. So why wouldn't they sign up? They need to sign up. Here's a little image if the imagery helps. You can see a bunch of our staff. I'm going to call out one of my buddies, Alma, who's on the call today, has helped create this amazing teachers kit. So when you register, the teachers get all this stuff, including really cool tools that help you integrate and include students who usually sit on the margins. And then you get amazing adaptive equipment. That's a combination of Rawlings and Flaghouse equipment that allows educators to include everybody. The whole design of that program is really, we offer training and all sorts of resources that are based on these fundamental pieces, that if you offer reliable baseball or softball programming, and you really focus on access, belonging and connection, trauma sensitivity, and adaptability, and you provide that to students facing barriers, what we have seen over and over from all the research and from all the evaluations on our programs is that students increase their confidence, their positive peer network, their love of sport, and in fact, they love school more. So for those of you who are competitive, here's what the numbers look like for us right now. We have lots of schools who've signed up, but certainly we have far more in Ontario. We've got lots in New Brunswick and Alberta and BC are coming up. But if you're sitting in Quebec or the Yukon or Manitoba, Nova Scotia, PEI, Saskatchewan, tell everybody about the program. Northwest Territories in the Yukon, we want as many educators who want to take advantage of this to have the opportunity and not to find out a little bit too late and say, oh, I wish I'd seen it. So you can find that program at www.jayscare.com/schools. I hope some of you will check it out right now. And then the second thing I wanted to tell you about, so that's what we're doing with schools. What are we doing with associations? So we work with any league or association who wants to expand their work. Maybe you're working in an area and you know that there's a low-income neighborhood just next door and none of the kids or the youth in that neighborhood are ever getting involved. How do you create a space so that they're gonna feel excited, motivated to get involved? Or maybe you're noticing that when you look at your league, it's predominantly filled with males, or maybe it's predominantly filled with white coaches or white officials or white players and families. If you want to diversify, we are partnering with the Toronto Blue Jays. We've also gotten lots of insights and help from Baseball Canada, Softball Canada, and Little League Canada to create these 4 courses. So let me tell you what each of them are really briefly, and then if you have any questions, make sure you ask them. So the first one's called Top of the First. This is a great program. It's a 3-course program where anyone who's looking for a general understanding, you're like, you know what, we just want to diversify writ large. We want to make sure kids of all different races, coaches of all different races, officials and administrators of all different races and genders feel really welcome and safe in our league and feel like this is a place for them. This is a great course for you to take. It's free. We do 3 sessions. One is all on relationship building and some of the things you should do and maybe shouldn't do that we don't even realize we're doing to create a really safe space on and off the field. The second one is all about interrupting exclusion. How do you interrupt when a parent says something that you're like, oof, that shouldn't have happened, or a player says something? You know, how do you actually get in a space to keep your home or your team or your workforce feeling really safe? And how do you do it in a way that really says, we don't accept that kind of behavior here? And then the last session is all about diversifying recruitment. So what do you need to do if you want to diversify the folks who you're recruiting on your team in paid positions and volunteer positions, the families you're recruiting, the players you're recruiting? So we've got all sorts of tips. When you join these workshops, you get a certificate. You can know that everything that we've done has been informed by Anima Leadership, which is like one of the leading diversity, equity, and inclusion organizations in Canada. They have coached us in the design of all of this. And you get all sorts of tools. I'll show you a couple pictures in a second. The other 3 workshops that we offer, they're all 2 hours long. The first one is, if you're like, you know what, the main priority for us right now is girls. We want to get more girls involved in our program. We offer free 2-hour workshops on how to enhance your tools and strategies for making your leagues work even better for girls, making them more accessible and making it so that when the girls show up, they want to stay. The second one we do is integrating athletes with disabilities. Maybe you don't run a challenger baseball program, but there are lots of athletes in your community who have disabilities who don't ever come out and try to join your team. what is that about? Why can't they? If you need some tips and tricks for how to, one, recruit them so they can feel like it's going to be a safe space, and two, make it feel like a safe space when they actually get there, and fully integrate them into your league, this workshop is fabulous for that. And then the last one is, I talked about trauma. I hate to be the Debbie Downer on the call because everybody's got such positive energy, but as a parent of 2 kids who have lived a pretty good life, I've even seen the effects of the last year on them. And so trauma is everywhere, and figuring out what are some tools that I should be using, not just with the folks I coach or the folks I officiate with or with the staff that I work with, but maybe also with the kids in your own home. This 2-hour workshop is really beneficial. And we've done it for probably 2,000 educators in the last year and 550 frontline workers. And everyone always says, oh, that was helpful. So those are the things we offer. Any of you are eligible to come. They're all free. We do it only because we really want to help amazing folks like you who are trying to get children, youth, and adults moving more. And we're trying to help all of us heal and have a better life through sport. And we know that so many of you are volunteering your time to do it. So if there's a way that we can help you push a little bit further towards your goals, we would love to be a part of that. And here's just some examples of the kind of tools we send out. We have one of our workshops, we give out 35 different common terms that are used in baseball and softball, translated into the 30 most common languages spoken here in Canada. That's just one cool tool. So I hope you will check some of them out. All of those workshops are going to be posted on the Toronto Blue Jays website in January. So you will see them all available. You are all welcome to come. And if you come, know that everything we're offering has been deeply influenced by our friends at Baseball Canada, and that means all of you. And please spread the word about the affiliate school program. We hope to have 600 teachers join us so that they can get kids playing ball in school, and those kids can get pumped about playing ball with you. That's all I got. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'm done.
Oh, Jules, thank you so much. I mean, I'm just kind of thinking and listening as you're talking, and I know last year we had Megan from your group talk just specifically more about Challenger and obviously the great work being done there, and we're such a fortunate partner to be partnering with you on various initiatives, and just when you think Jays Care couldn't get any more amazing, I mean, your group just continues to rise and provide these amazing resources for the baseball community, these amazing opportunities. So just the biggest takeaways for me just were in your last slides, just around the different programming that's available, and just encourage everyone that's on the call tonight, that all of our audience to get in touch. I mean, these resources are just tremendous, and you're a real huge asset to the baseball community and tons of communities across Canada. So we're just really fortunate. Just reading some comments, just a lot of people showing their appreciation and gratitude for all the resources and opportunity that you're providing. So Jules, thank you again. What's the easiest way for folks to reach out and get in touch and get their hands on some of these things that you're providing?
So I think well, first of all, thanks, Adam. That was so nice. But I'll say the first thing they can do is check out our website, www.jayscare.com. Please check out the school's website and spread the word. If you want to get in touch with us about any of these workshops that we're offering, you can reach out directly to me at jules.porter@bluejays.com, or check back with the Blue Jays website. And many of you will know Jeff and TJ from the Toronto Blue Jays. Those two folks are helping me with all these workshops as well. So they're also a great resource for you. They'll let you know. They're the ones who are scheduling all of these workshops. We're just delivering them, but they're managing the back end. So they're also good folks to reach out to.
Awesome. Just noticing a comment from a great friend of ours, and that's Randy Krause from out in Nova Scotia. Huge fan of Randy's, done tremendous work with Challenger Baseball for many years now. He's just saying, thank you, Jules. Awesome as always. So Hello
He's
to
been
Randy.
ribbing me, Adam. He's been ribbing me all day on the phone. I love that, Randy Crest. You stayed up, my friend. That is a good friend. You should be
Yes.
sleeping, but I appreciate it. Anyway, have a great rest of your conference, and thank you so much for including me. And
Well,
I'm going to stick around and hear the last presenter, so thank you.
Awesome. And again, Jules, thank you so much for kind of helping us out at the last moment on short notice. And just again, your work with your group is valued work and very important work. So thank you again.